Caitlin Clark is on the verge of making history once again, but not for the reasons you'd expect. The Indiana Fever star, who recently broke the WNBA's single-season assist record, is also one technical foul away from a suspension. What's fueling this fire on the court, and how will it affect her team heading into the playoffs? Buckle up as we dive into the story that's shaking the WNBA world right now. From breaking records to battling emotions, Caitlin Clark has been unstoppable on and off the court. But after her sixth technical foul this season, she's walking a tightrope that could leave her benched at the worst possible moment. Today, we're taking a deep dive into how her intensity might cost her and what her coach and the WNBA are saying about it. Will Caitlin be able to control her emotions in time for the Fever's playoff run, or are her frustrations leading to a costly suspension? It's Friday night and Caitlin Clark is ready to put on a show. Facing off against the Las Vegas Aces, Clark was set to break yet another record, the WNBA's single-season assist record. But in the opening minutes of the game, things took a heated turn. After knocking Las Vegas guard Tiffany Hayes to the ground during a defensive play, Clark slammed her hands against the basket support. That's when the whistle blew, her sixth technical foul of the year. Now, 6 technical fouls in a season is no small number. It puts Clark just one more away from an automatic suspension, something that could derail the Fever's momentum as they prepare for the playoffs. But what's more interesting, Clark isn't alone in the league's technical foul race. She's tied with seasoned WNBA veterans Diana Taurasi and Kahleah Copper, with Natasha Cloud leading the pack at 7 technicals, and she's already served a suspension. Clark's intensity is both a blessing and a curse. It's what drives her to excel, to break records, and to be one of the most dynamic players in the WNBA, but it's also what's landing her in hot water with the officials. And her frustration, well, it's been building all season. Clark said, "I've tried to appeal past technicals, but the league won't overturn them. It's just part of the game, I guess. I think I've done a better job controlling my emotions, but sometimes it's tough." Clark's frustrations aren't limited to the technical fouls themselves. In a recent game against Minnesota, she was knocked to the floor by Napheesa Collier, a hit that many argue should have been called a foul. Yet, no whistle was blown. Clark's response: to stay down on the floor, arms to her sides, clearly expressing her disbelief in the lack of a call. Despite the drama, Clark continues to make history. During that same game against the Aces, she recorded her 317th assist of the season, breaking the WNBA's single-season assist record. A monumental achievement, but of course, controversy followed her even in this historic moment. After the game, officials reduced her assist count from 10 to 9, taking away her double-double performance on what should have been a night to celebrate. Sides said she's passionate, she's competitive, but she just needs to reset and move on to the next play. We can't let those emotions take over. With 2 regular season games left, against the Dallas Wings and the Washington Mystics, Clark is walking a thin line. One more technical, and she'd be sidelined for a game. Fortunately for Clark and the Fever, if she does get that technical, it won't carry over into the playoffs, as the WNBA resets the foul counter once the postseason begins. But here's the catch: if she gets a technical in either of these final games, she have to serve that suspension in the first game of next season. So the question is, can Clark keep her cool under pressure? Or will her fiery nature put her on the bench at a crucial moment? In her post-game interview, Clark didn't shy away from voicing her frustrations with the officiating. Not only did she criticize the technical foul calls, but she also questioned the legitimacy of many fouls throughout the season. Her complaints aren't unfounded. In several games, Clark has been visibly frustrated with missed calls on fouls that many fans and analysts believe should have been called in her favor. Clark is known for her competitive fire, but when that passion crosses into frustration, it can lead to situations like this. It's a fine line between playing with intensity and losing control, and right now, Clark is feeling the weight of that balance. While Clark may have her issues with the referees, Fever coach Christy Sides isn't letting her off the hook so easily. In her post-game press conference, Sides made it clear that the responsibility for avoiding technicals falls on Clark herself. Sides said, "We've got to let go of outside frustrations and focus on what we can control. The officials are the officials. We can't let those things affect us, especially early in the game." Sides is emphasizing accountability here, not just for Clark, but for the whole team. The Fever can't afford to lose focus, especially as they head into the playoffs with everything on the line. With the playoffs just around the corner, Clark will need to channel her competitive energy in a way that benefits her team. Can she rise above the frustrations and lead the Fever to a deep playoff run? Or will the weight of her emotions be too much to handle? One thing's for sure, Caitlin Clark is a game changer. She's broken records, overcome challenges, and made her mark in her rookie season. But now, as the Fever fight for playoff positioning, the stakes have never been higher. It's all about keeping cool under pressure, and we'll be watching closely to see how Clark navigates the rest of this season. What do you think? Will Clark keep her emotions in check, or is another technical foul just around the corner? Let us know in the comments, and if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe for more in-depth coverage of the WNBA's biggest stories.